One of the capabilities that market analysis have long clamored for is the ability to take information that they already have in Excel format and put it onto the map and look at it in different ways. Let's spend just a moment looking at an Excel file to analyze properties or sites based on distinguishable attributes. I'll go ahead and open up my sample portfolio that I have in Excel format, speak for it just a moment. As you can see here, I've got a number of different columns: name, address, city, state, zip code. Those are all the location coordinates. And then we also have sales volume or property type. And I'm going to call these distinguishable attributes. Using this Excel file, I can look at this information not only as a point in space, but by those distinguishable attributes. I'm going to go ahead and go into Maps, and I'm going to import a file. And the file that I'm going to import is the sample portfolio. Once I import it, you'll see that I have address, city, state, and zip code as column headers, so I can go ahead and move forward and click on Next. You see that 16 matches were found, and then that there were 0 invalid addresses. Once I add those to the map, you see that it automatically chose, in this case, the Counts and Amounts option under the styling of the data. So the styling of the data is showing me numerically what the sales volumes are for these individual locations. So instead of just being able to look at a single point for the georeferencing, you can see that I have the ability to see my small sales volumes are going to be the small dots all over the map, where my high sales volumes are going to be the larger orange dots on the map. Now, you can also come in here and you can change these however you want to. You can change the size, depending on your liking. You can classify the data in different ways, and you can even have different call-out buttons that come directly from your Excel file. So that would be one way that we might be able to analyze property based on the distinguishable attribute that we might have. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click back, and I'm going to clear out my map and show you a different way that we might be able to classify this information. What if we wanted to import that file again, but instead of looking at it by sales volume, we can import the file and add our matches to the map, and then let's say that we want to look at this by type or unique symbols. So at first what you see here is that I have different colors for each of my different properties, because what the computer is thinking that I'm looking for is individual names to be represented by individual colors. Well, in this case, I have the attribute selected as name. I could also do the same for address, city, property type, sales volume, state, or zip code. Well, in this case, I know that I have distinguishable attribute column that's property type. So I'm going to select property type. Now you can see all of the different colors associated with the different property types. If I wanted to, I could also import custom symbology. I could change my symbol or the color palette with just the click of a button. Or I could even change my attribute. So if I knew that all of these locations were within the city of Dallas, you would see that all of these crosses would be the same color. If these were in multiple different cities, I would have different options here. You can see that we also are going to show the existing count within our file. I can then go back and reset my symbols, or I could say original address and show all of the different options. If you wanted to capture this information, you could just go over to the right side and click on the plus PDF, and you would then have a custom map. And I might go in here and call this my property portfolio. Ben Wilson. I could change the orientation from landscape to portrait, or if I didn't want to show the legend, I could also turn that on or off with the click of a button. At this point, I could create the PDF and send it to anyone that I wanted to. So I think that this is one of the real useful tools within the site, is the ability to take this information that most of you already have and be able to look at it spatially.